What you will see here is the etheric energy blueprint behind an object. Even though a section have been cut off, the energy body is still present. This is why when people lose their limbs, they can still feel it present, because the etheric body can never be broken. This proves that we are not the body. You are the spirit inside of the body. If you don't believe me, you can literally do this exercise yourself to activate your bodies. This is called astral projection. It's using your mind to project your consciousness into the astral plane, the realm of imagination. This was talked about in the Bible when Jesus walks on water. It's a metaphor for astral projection. The water is the ether, the barrier between the physical and the spiritual planes. Before you do this, you need to make sure you're in a good, high vibrational mindset. Whatever frequency you are vibrating on, you will match within the astral planes. For example, if you are vibrating very low, you will meet beings, entities that are vibrating very low. This is what we call demons. Once you are in the right mindset, you need to lie down flat with no body parts touching. Rest every single muscle and be still as possible. Close your eyes, breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus your attention on the center of the brain, the place of the consciousness. You need to do this for at least 10 to 15 minutes until you are just left with an empty mind. Now you want to use your mind to imagine yourself pulling a rope up into the sky. Imagine yourself floating above your body. One thing that you must never do if you do successfully astral project is never look into the mirrors. Sex is sacred energy exchange. S is the serpent. The most powerful emotion a human can feel is the sexual desire. Serpent symbolizes sexual energy, which are the two kundalini channels which go up from the base of the spine to the brain. Tree of knowledge of good and evil is the brain, the spine, the two hemispheres of the brain, masculine and feminine, and the serpent is the kundalini sexual energy. The serpent is tempting you to release your sacred energy, which is the forbidden fruit the serpent tempted Eve to eat. Resurrection of Jesus is metaphorical. Res meaning head, erection is sexual stimulation. The resurrection is raising the sexual energy from the base of the spine to the brain, the pineal gland. This then gives you the ability to use 100% of the brain. You can transmute this energy into critical thinking or awakening your third eye. We have all been sexually programmed since we were young because they are trying to reverse the genders. When a male releases, his estrogen levels go up. When a female releases, their testosterone goes up. Hence why the LGBT flag is the upside down colour spectrum. Red should be first, it's the lowest vibrational colour. Ancient mythology, there's always stories about killing the dragon or the serpents. This is symbolic for killing the lower nature of yourself, because the serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy. It's an internal battle. Physical versions of the Book of Wisdom are now available. The link is in the bio to get. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature: mental, emotional, etheric and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle, 4 gospels. The cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ, we are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Reptilians do not exist. It is metaphorical for using the reptilian part of our brain. The 3 parts of the brain correspond with the 3 parts of the body. If you're operating your life out of your gut, you're in hell, which is the reptilian animal state. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. This is why he's green. Top half of the body is the higher self. The lower half of the body is the lower self. If you're operating your life out of these lower 3 centers, this is hell. Instead, you want to use the higher brain, the neocortex, where critical thinking and rationality takes place. This is why Neo from the Matrix is called Neo, because he awakens and uses his higher brain. The devil and the angel on your shoulder is an internal battle between your higher and lower self. The devil has goat horns, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is a higher animal, which represents the higher self. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the higher self and the lower self. Religion has externalized the truth so that you believe Jesus and Satan are outside of you. This is done so that you do not transmute all of the negative parts of yourself into positive and become the God.
Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left, and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here, because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. Universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical.
Stop wearing glasses. The longer you wear glasses and cover up your eyes, the thicker your glass gets, because your eyes become worse. Your brain will adapt to the new thickness of the lens, and the eye will start to work less. Your eyes are muscles. You need to train them to become stronger. You're blocking the sun's rays from getting into the eyes. Whatever is in your visual field goes into the brain, and then the brain will then affect the central nervous system. So whatever you see is having an effect on your whole body. This is why they don't want you looking at the sun anymore, because the sun's rays can actually heal the eyes and heal the body. This is why they promote sunglasses, because sunglasses block the sun from entering into your eyes and awakening your pineal gland and stimulating the body's electrical nervous system. So when you watch the solar eclipse tomorrow, you don't need to wear glasses, just watch it with your eyes.
Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left, and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here, because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. Universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical.
The solar system is a soul system. We started in the stars, then we incarnated into the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You descended from spirit into matter. The soul luring system lures your soul deeper into matter, which are the lower three chakras. You are the mind and soul, not the physical body. If you die and your mind is still attached to these worldly physical things, you will want to reincarnate here. The body corresponds with the higher and the lower self. You need to get out of power, food, and you know what, into the higher chakras, so that your mind is not attached to the worldly things when you die from here. This is why they get you so addicted to clothes and all of these physical things. The fast food restaurants are red, orange, and yellow because they keep you here. You need to connect with your true divine self, which is inside of the pineal gland. This is the Holy Grail, your neck and head, because the Holy Grail out of the physical world and ascension is connecting with your true consciousness form. You need to be united, not divided. You need to turn the masculine and feminine energies into balance, because heaven has the word even in it. You have to become even because your consciousness has no gender. The devil is the deveil. You deveil yourself by having these mental addictions to the worldly things. The soul luring system is inside of you. You have to deveil yourself out of the 7 seals in the Bible. The 7 seals are the 7 chakras because they seal your true self. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom.
Turmeric is unhealthy, so is lemon and carrot. These foods were not created by nature. They were created in labs, genetically modified. None of these foods were here on the day of creation, which means they are unnatural to your body. Your body does not know what to do with them. Potato, matoke, and big bananas all contain starch. This will thicken the blood and cause clogs within your digestive system. All the foods that were here in the beginning were all alkaline. Our body needs to be in an alkaline state. When we consume acidic foods, this is when parasites and diseases can thrive. Once you move to the alkaline diet, you will never go back. This human health guide will tell you everything you need to know and everything you need to avoid to maintain optimal health.
You are not the body, you're the invisible intelligence. If you shut your eyes, you can feel your awareness in the center of the brain. You refer to this being as I. The letter I and the number 1 is one line. Because there is only one, and we are all the one expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. This is the one giving out the Ankh to all the different life forms. This is why 1 is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones. You look with the 2 eyes and you see with the inner eye your invisible intelligence. Because the inner eye gives you the perception of what you're looking at. Everything is neutral. Everything is one. It's your mind's perception that gives it a positive or negative charge. Me and you are the exact same consciousness. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? We are all mind. Men means mind in Latin. Jesus was known as the fisher of men. He wasn't fishing men, he was fishing minds. Bright minds that are worthy of knowing the truth. God exists within the highest realm of your being, your mind. If you constantly listen to your God intelligence, which is always telling you the right thing to do, this is how to become closer to God. You need to stop living off the body's desire and turn to the higher self, the higher realms of your mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. You do not see into reality. Light enters the eyes and the image is produced in the visual cortex. The world you see around you is actually within you. You are consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system and the brain. There are 2 major systems in the body. The tree of life, the cardiovascular system, giving life to the physical body. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, the nervous system. You do not experience the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system, which gives your mind, your consciousness, the knowledge of good and evil. You are the Temple of Solomon, the temple of the soul and the mon, the sun and the moon, the soul and the mind. The sun is the soul, the moon is the mind. This is why we say lunatic. Luna is moon. And inside of your mind, you have a specific mood, which is moon. The soul system is within you. It's the 7 chakras, the 7 planets. The cycles of the sun being summer and winter happens within the body because you are a miniature world. In the summer, you feel better and you gain better ideas. In the winter, you feel less alive. I am you and you are me. It's a universe, a unite verse. Everything is one. We are all one consciousness, one mind, in separate physical bodies. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Freemasons always place the east at the top of their artwork and the north and south on the sides. This is because they understand the true cosmology of this realm, but you don't. North is the center of this realm. This is where all compasses point to because the Earth's electromagnetic field and all this energy centers at this point. It's the strongest point. South is anywhere that goes opposite from the center. So if you walk this way, that is south, and that is south, and that is south. West is when you go left around the magnetic pole. This is anti-clockwise. If you were here and started walking west, you would end up in the exact same spot. East is the clockwise turn around the center axis. So if you were here and walked east, you would end up in the exact same position. With that being said, east is the right turn, left is the west turn. They always show the ladder to the east. Why? Because the ladder is your spine, and the east means the right, which is the right hemisphere of your brain. In short, the right hemisphere produces a holistic view of reality. So this sees humanity as one unified consciousness. The left hemisphere breaks this down into individuals. This sees the trees, this sees the whole woods. So when Jesus says, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish,
This represents cast your awareness into the right hemisphere and you will see the unification of the universe. You will see the higher self. This is the higher self. This is the ego. You will realize everything is connected and everything is all one. Use the code WISE20, all capital letters, for more information. Read this book. Jesus never existed. Jesus symbolizes the sun, with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the sun. That's why he's called the risen savior, the light of the world, the Son of God. 7 days, 7 planets. They worship their God on Sunday because Jesus is the sun. Easter is actually called the Passover because this is when the sun passes the winter and enters Aries, when the sun springs things back into life, the summer. And this is when they eat lamb, because lamb is Aries, the ram. The sun dies on the Southern Crux constellation, the cross, every year on the 22nd of December. On the 25th of December, it is born again, every year, because it moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the sun to the northern hemisphere. Jesus, the Son, was born a virgin every year, and this is why we celebrate Christmas. Horus, the Egyptian sun god, 12 disciples, born on the 25th, dead for 3 days and resurrected, did miracles and born a virgin. Same with Mithra. Judas stabs Jesus in the back and betrays him. The constellation Scorpio is a J for Judas, and when the sun hits Scorpio, this means the sun is now entering the winter, meaning it's going to die and become dead. So it's betrayed by the Scorpio, the constellation J. Here's Jesus walking on water. It's the sun. Jesus' life is a process that happens in the body. A sacred fluid is produced in the claustrum in the brain. When the moon enters your zodiac sign, the fluid comes down the spine to your sacrum bone, which is Jesus coming down from heaven to earth. The oil stays in the sacrum bone, which is Jesus dying for 3 days in the cave. If you preserve this oil by having an alkaline diet and saving your you-know-what energy, by activating the kundalini, you raise the oil back to the pineal gland, which electrically charges the physioluminescent crystals on the pineal gland and turns on 100% of the brain. Unless you are born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. You are born again by activating 100% of the brain. When you raise the oil up the 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine, which is the 33 years of Christ. Jesus was crucified at Golgotha, which translates to a place in the skull. It's an internal process. This is why every religion has a sacred river, because the river is your spinal cord. It's also the stairway to heaven that Jacob saw in Genesis. Hence why he called the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face in Genesis 32:30. Peniel is the pineal gland in the center of the brain, the seat of the mind. This is why Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness in John 3:14. He isn't playing with the snake in the woods, he's raising the kundalini. This is the snake. Jesus dying at 33 is symbolic from turning matter into spirit, turning. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Head is heaven and heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. 144,000 chosen ones will go to heaven according to the Bible. 1 plus 4 and 4 is 9. 9 represents consciousness. That's why I is the 9th letter of the English alphabet, because when you say I, you're referring to your consciousness. 144,000 is a state of consciousness. That's why 666 adds up to 9, because the mark of the beast is the lower self. 66 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. 6 is the number of physical reality. That's why the cube has 6 sides, and you're in a cube now. You can only move forward, backwards, left, right, upwards, and downs. 666 is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all based on physical reality, cutting off your spirituality. You are the beast in your lower nature. Your consciousness does not operate in this physical reality. That's why you must think outside of the box. The body is the box. The body is the beast, the animal. You are an individual. You exist in 2 realms at once, a material external reality and a spiritual non-physical reality internally, which is the compass and the square combined, spirit and matter. Internal spiritual world projects your outer material world. Spirit is heaven, matter is hell. Reason you feel so lost is because you don't understand your nature. Understanding who you are makes you feel so much better. You're not fat, your gut is just bloated. Your cortisol levels are probably pretty high, which is giving you skin acne, tired all day, puffy face, and always taking naps. To get rid of this to this, you must remove all unnatural foods. Your gut only recognizes natural foods grown by the earth. Unnatural foods activates the defense system, which causes inflammation and mucus to be sent to this area. You don't have skin issues, you don't have body odor, you don't have bad breath. You have a toxic, rotting gut with leftover food in it. Everything outside of your body is an internal problem. If I was to encounter any issues with my body, I would go on a single fruit diet, preferably blueberries or watermelon, while taking sea moss and herbs. I'll do this for 2 weeks, and then maintain this diet while fasting 2 days a week, plus grounding daily, as well as being in the sun daily. You won't lose weight, you lose impurities. After a month, you'll gain all of these benefits. If you need to heal and you don't know what to do, the Human Health Guide will give you all the essential knowledge. Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a 7-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. When placing a chestahedron in a box, it sits on an angle of 36 degrees off center. This is the same angle which the heart sits in the chest, hence why it's called a chestahedron. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the fourth state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. So much more that goes into the heart. I teach everything in the new lecture in my university. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples, he is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a fourfold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh. You are an extension of God's consciousness. Watch this YouTube video to find out. The moon is your mind. You can use the moon to your advantage. A full moon is very powerful. There are more police calls on a full moon than any other day of the month, the moon. The moon enhances our psyche, our internal state. If you are angry and a full moon comes around, this will be enhanced. And you will become a monster, a moon star, or a lunatic. Luna is the moon. On a full moon, you should be visualizing, thinking and feeling the desired reality you want, because your intent, thoughts and emotions are more powerful on a full moon. This is why if you type in witches, they're always next to a full moon, because this is the best time to cast a spell. 28-day cycle of the moon, 28-day cycle of the menstrual cycle. It's in direct correlation with the moon. The moon governs liquids in your body. Fasting on a full moon is also very powerful because the water in your body is being pulled by the moon. That's why the tides of the ocean follow the moon. 28-day cycle, this is a month, a moon. 365 days divided by 28, which is 13. There are 13 monthly cycles. Where is the missing month? We do not know what year we are truly in, people. I think they did this to stop us being in sync with the monthly cycle. What do you guys think? There's a secret meaning behind 666. 666 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of creation and consciousness. Thoughts, emotions, and actions. These 3 things have created your life. This is where it gets scary. The number 6 represents the cube. And this material world is created in cubes. Forwards, down, up, backwards, left, and right. 6 represents the material world. 666 represents your thought, emotions, and actions all going towards your material body and material pleasure. Cutting yourself off from spirituality. Red is the slowest vibrational frequency.
and it represents chaotic and intense emotions like hate and anger. You are the devil. It's not a real person, it's the lower aspects of the human mind. The voice we hear in our head that tells us to do bad things is not the devil, it's an aspect of your mind. He has a goat head. Goats are ground animals, they represent the lower self. Angels have wings, which represent the higher self. Have you ever wondered why, if you minus all of the numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why. 6 is the number of time, space, and matter. It represents the three-dimensional material world. Up, down, left, right, backwards, and forward. It's a 6-sided cube. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666 in total. This is why you see black cubes everywhere you go, or the Nintendo GameCube. Jesus' cross is a cube unfolded. Jews wear a cube on top of their heads, and there's a reason why we say think outside the box. This is where it gets a bit crazy. 666 is the exact same structure of carbon, and your body's made out of carbon. The body is the mark of the beast, the mark of this three-dimensional material world. When the Bible says Satan, who's the god of this world, it represents Saturn, which is the god of time. Everything dies in time, therefore time is the god of this world. It rules this world. Everything physical began as a thought in the mind. The physical world is a shadow or an effect of thought. Therefore, your physical body is stuck in time, but your mind is outside of time. This is why your mind can go in the past and the future, but your body cannot. Thinking outside the box is a term referring to thinking outside of the physical plane, which is activating the light bodies, the eternal self, also known as astral projection. What I'm saying is your body is nothing, you are not your body. You are the eternal consciousness which is not bound by the physical plane. You just have to awaken these other bodies. Have you ever wondered why, if you minus all of the numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why. 6 is the number of time, space, and matter. It represents the three-dimensional material world. Up, down, left, right, backwards, and forward. It's a 6-sided cube. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666 in total. This is why you see black cubes everywhere you go, or the Nintendo GameCube. Jesus' cross is a cube unfolded. Jews wear a cube on top of their heads, and there's a reason why we say think outside the box. This is where it gets a bit crazy. 666 is the exact same structure of carbon, and your body's made out of carbon. The body is the mark of the beast, the mark of this three-dimensional material world. When the Bible says Satan, who's the god of this world, it represents Saturn, which is the god of time. Everything dies in time, therefore time is the god of this world. It rules this world. Everything physical began as a thought in the mind. The physical world is a shadow or an effect of thought. Therefore, your physical body is stuck in time, but your mind is outside of time. This is why your mind can go in the past and the future, but your body cannot. Thinking outside the box is a term referring to thinking outside of the physical plane, which is activating the light bodies, the eternal self, also known as astral projection. What I'm saying is your body is nothing, you are not your body. You are the eternal consciousness which is not bound by the physical plane. You just have to awaken these other bodies. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis is the dog, which represents the tongue, the barking, because the power of life and death is in the tongue. The falcon of Horus is the inner bird, which is inside of the brainstem. Thoth, the god of wisdom. Thoth is thought, because he is the god of wisdom, the thought, the human mind. Jed pillar is the spinal column, which is a part of the brain. The Ankh is the womb, the uterus in the womb, because this is the portal into the physical world. This is symbolizing how the visual field works with the brain, because you do not see into the external world. What you are seeing is an image produced by the visual cortex in the back of the brain. The back of the casket is the cerebellum, which is all to do with motor learning and cognitive functions of the brain. The scarab is the skull. Hindus used to build temples in the human form because they understood this is the most advanced piece of technology on the face of the earth. The Most High does not dwell in houses made by human hands. It's your human body. You are God made flesh. They don't want you finding out how sacred your body is and how powerful your mind is. You are the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid, looking into the three-dimensional world. You are Solomon's temple, the temple of the soul and the mon, the soul and the mind in the temple. If you want to learn more, read this book. Take a look at this. A TV presenter accidentally did the Baphomet symbol. This was done live on television, but there is something more to this symbol. The Baphomet is good, it's not evil. Religion has miseducated you to think it's evil. I'm going to break this down to you from top to bottom so that you can gain an understanding.
First of all, symbols speak to your subconscious mind. Symbols activate thoughts in the invisible realms of mind. Symbols are keys to understand higher things. This symbol can be used for good and the bad. The goat is a ground animal, represents the lower self, the ego. The wings are an air animal, represents the higher self, the elevated state. The dome he's sitting on is the earth element. The fish scales on the stomach are the water element. We have the fire element, also representing human enlightenment, the higher self, and the kundalini. The wings also represent the air element. As above, so below. What happens in the mind happens in your external reality. The moon represents emotion, the feminine aspect of your consciousness. The moon is either on top of you, ruling your body, or you are standing on top of the moon, controlling your emotions. This is not the devil horns. It represents the lower self, the moon controlling you, your emotions. He's male and female, representing polarity of the physical plane, left and right. The Baphomet is a symbol which symbolizes the transformation from the lower mind to the higher mind, to a sleep, to awakened and enlightenment. I have a whole new book of wisdom coming soon, which will explain absolutely everything in detail.
You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because your brain and your heart are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think produces an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network with 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same cells found in the cranial brain. Therefore, the heart is the second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause dualism and confusion. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the cranial brain. However, the heart does not have two hemispheres, it's a singular organ. So when you say follow your heart, this has a deep meaning. Because the heart is the tablet that tells you what is right and what is wrong. When you hurt someone, you can feel it in your heart. The heart is the moral law within you that tells you what is right and what is wrong. That's why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. When you follow your heart long enough, this takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to connect to our heart intelligence. All you have to do is turn off the cranial thoughts, put your hand on your heart, and listen to the emotional intelligence. They don't want us connected to our hearts because this is where love and empathy comes from, and this is where our true life purpose resides. The Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. You can get it in hardback exclusive edition or just paperback.
There is nothing holy about Israel. It's an allegory. Isis, Ra, and El, left feminine and right masculine brains. When these two electrical forces unify and become the Star of David, this is when you unlock El, which means God, consciousness. The Holy Land is your consciousness. It's an elevated state of consciousness. Why do you think Moses went up on a mountain to meet with God? It's an allegory for raising your frequency, raising your consciousness, to altering it beyond physical. Noah's Ark, he goes on the mountain with God and kills all of the flesh. It's allegorical for raising your consciousness and killing the desire for physical flesh and physical material things, because your mind is not a part of the physical plane. It's a higher dimension. The mind is God. The Bible's written in allegorical code so that it engages us to use our right brains and decipher things and engage in critical thinking. Today, we're just given everything. We're given information. This is why we're so stupid. We need to use our right brains and decipher symbols. This is why the ancients were so advanced.
You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. You feel hungry? This is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Then it goes to say in Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? This is why the side of your head's called a temple, because the kingdom of God is within you. Christians aren't even following the word of Jesus, they're following the word of the church. Jesus tells you to meditate. When you pray, enter into the inner chamber and shut the door. The inner chamber is the inner part of your brain, your mind. Shutting the door is turning off the mind. Jesus says take no thought 5 times in Matthew chapter 6. Because you have 5 senses. Jesus is telling you to turn off the 5 senses and meditate. When you turn off the body and thought, other aspects of your consciousness can open up and connect with God. Jesus was a mystic telling you to go within yourself, not a God to worship. The church is the biggest scam. No man in the sky will ever save you. The devil does not exist. This book will literally tell you everything. Use the code WISDOM, all capital letters, for 40% off. Clothes are magnetic. Every cell in your body has a magnetic field. Everything is made out of electromagnetic fields. This is the true model of the atom. The clothes you wear carry magnetic energy. This is the reason why all of the ancients only wore linen robes. Because the frequency of natural fabrics are very high. These are not just fabrics, they are frequency, they are vibrational energy. Synthetic fabrics lower your frequency, and they leak microplastics into the pores in your skin. The Egyptians, Sumerians, Mayans all wore jewelry because they understood the frequency of metals. By wearing jewelry in certain places, we are enhancing the energy flow in the meridian in that area of the body. If we have wrist pain, we can wear copper around the wrist, which will enhance the frequency. Cells create organs, the organs create systems, and the system creates the body. Every cell, every organ, and every system has its own magnetic field, and this creates the overall magnetic field. That's why you have an anatomy. You are a giant atom. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I wear linen all the time, but maybe this is something that we should consider. Our consciousness, our energy is affected by these magnetic fields. You see, knowledge is power. When you don't know these things, you have no influence. This book will give you understanding of who you are, where you are, and what you are. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, alcohol in Arabic. That's why vodka is called spirits. A jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spiritual entity. Alcohol was developed by alchemists who developed a way of extracting spirits from liquid. Alcohol is a form of a magic potion which the ancients used to alter their consciousness. They don't tell you about the astral and etheric plane, the realms beyond physical. Alcohol contains ethanol, which is ethanol, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral plane. Ancient magicians used potions to enhance their speed, strength, or whatever they want. Alcohol is a demonic potion which enhances aggression and violence because you're being possessed by these entities in the astral plane. Alcohol weakens your vibrational field, which allows these entities to enter your body. This is why people change to dark behaviors when they're intoxicated. The entities within them engage in violence and low-level sexual encounters. The whole world is drinking magic potions used for witchcraft. Why do you think you can buy alcohol in every shop and there's a pub on every street? Alcohol also weakens the immune system, kills brain cells, and reduces amounts of oxygen to reach the brain. Magic never disappeared. It was veiled in myths and stories to make it seem like a fantasy. 24-hour sale. Use the code HAPPY to save 15% on the Book of Wisdom. Hey people, the Book of Wisdom Volume 2 will be available October the 8th, 12 AM midnight. I will be releasing the new stage, the new era of human awakening. I can't wait to share this one with you. I just want to say thank you all for your support. There is limited stock and there will be no PDFs, only physical versions. I will be talking inside of this book about things that cannot be revealed online. I can't wait to share this one with you. Have an amazing day. You are living in the black cube matrix of Saturn. There is a deep meaning behind these black cubes you see in every major city. On the North Pole of Saturn, there is a hexagon, which is a cube. In your external reality, Saturn rules the roots of trees, bones, and underlying frameworks. Saturn is the god of conditions and limitation. This is why he's known as the god of time, because time is a limitation. Your physical body is a limitation for your infinite mind. Mind can project into the future and go backwards into the past. Your body cannot, because it's stuck to the three-dimensional three-dimensional world. The mind can expand into infinite fields of thought. There is nothing impossible with your mind. The energy of Saturn is being abused to condition your consciousness into a physical low state, trapping your mind in a three-dimensional way of thinking. Do this through religion, hence why all religions have symbolism of Saturn. They condition your mind through the educational system, hence why you wear a black cube on your head. This is why a judge wears a black robe, to enforce limitation and laws. Black represents Saturn. It represents dense, cold matter and limitation. The truth about the pineal gland. It's not the third eye, it's the first eye. It is an eye. When you imagine something in your head and you see that image, that is that mind's eye seeing this image. You're a multidimensional being and your third eye has access to the astral plane. So when you imagine something in your head, you are literally creating out of astral matter. This is the dream world also. This is why your heel is hell and your head is heaven, because your head has access to the astral plane. The pineal gland has physioluminescent crystalline jagged shaped cells on it, which emits and reflects light. The more you activate your mind's eye through imagination, the lighter your mind becomes. This is why we say enlightenment. And that's why we have the Illuminati, which is illumination of the mind. It's both a material and a spiritual gland. This is why Jacob in the Bible calls the place pineal, where he's seen God face to face. Pineal is the pineal gland of your brain. I'll be hosting a live call tomorrow in my universe. You create demons. Demon is a demon. Mon is the moon, meaning emotion. D means negative. Demon is a negative emotion, which possess your mind, body, and spirit. You have a physical and an astral body. Constant negative thoughts and emotions create astral energy, which latches onto your body. These entities are created by your own thought forms. You feed them by giving them emotional and mental energy. Every addiction you have is an astral entity that you have created. The astral plane is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. This is a whole other dimension and you have a body there. The more attention you give them, the bigger, the stronger, and more influence they have on your body. Thoughts and emotions are a lot more powerful than you think. They are the commands that bring things into existence. You are a magician. Imagination. I, Magic Nation. You are a magician. You bring non-physical thoughts into a physical reality. You've been doing magic your whole life. Demon is D-mon. Mon is moon, meaning emotion. D means negative. A demon is a negative emotion, which possess your mind, body, and spirit. These entities are created by your own thought forms. You feed them by giving them mental and emotional energy. Every addiction you have is an astral entity that you have created. The more thoughts and emotions that you give to these entities, the stronger impact they have over your physical body. I, Magi Nation. You are a magician, bringing thoughts and emotions into physical reality. You've been doing magic your whole life. Depression doesn't exist. You are thinking too much. You need to learn how to turn off thought by meditation. When thought is no longer present in your consciousness, depression, anxiety goes out the window. It does not exist. You rise above this. When you turn off the mind, the five senses, and emotion, other aspects of your mind and consciousness starts to open up, and this is when you can gain mystical experiences. You need to connect with the pure self. Your job, your name, your body, your worries, your money is not you. You are the I am. You need to connect with the source within you. By disconnecting all of these external factors, the true you is crying out. If you are depressed, if you are sad all the time, this is a reflection that your life is synthetic and unnatural. You need to connect with yourself. We are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. The Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends, the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the cycles above us. You can create abundance in your life with using the moon to your advantage. All of my students know that.
There was no year zero. You know why there's no year zero?
The word calendar comes from calends. Calends is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. Calendar is an invention by Pope Gregory to remind people when to pay taxes. You are born into this copyrighted timeline, and this copyrighted timeline is on your birth certificate, which means you are owned by them. They did this also to lose concept of true time. We are not in 2024. The word month comes from moon, because a month is a 28-day lunar cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. We have 13 lunar cycles every year. Where is the missing month? This is where it gets crazy. We don't know what year we are truly in, people. The fluids in our body are in cycle with the moon. That's why women have a menstruation cycle every 28 days. The ancients would never eat anything on a full moon, and they would do rituals. Maybe they did this to keep us out of sync with the celestial bodies, because they hold influence over our consciousness. There's so much more that goes into breakfast is break fast, because they don't want you fasting to regenerate your body. So they programmed you to eat dense food in the morning, and then when you're tired by 10 p.m. you need poison coffee for more energy. All you need to do is to fast till 2 p.m. Then have fruit or a smoothie, something easy on the digestive system. 60% of your energy goes to the digestive system. So when you fast, this energy can be redirected into regenerating your body and producing stem cells. Your body's encoded with self-regenerating technology. That's why you cut yourself, it heals automatically. It's the same with illness. Your body knows how to heal the illness you have. You just have to move out of your acidic environment to an alkaline environment, so your body doesn't waste its time fighting off the toxic food you place in. Instead, it can redirect this energy into healing the body. Healing is not an overnight process. It takes months of an alkaline diet and fasting every week, and using these herbs to detoxify your temple. Meat, dairy, and these unnatural foods all cause inflammation in your body. Carrots are not healthy. Potatoes are not healthy. Broccoli and white rice, these things are all unnatural and made by humans. Your body only recognizes what was here on the day of creation, such as apples, figs, pears, strawberries, and all organic things. What you are seeing here is proof that your body is an electrical circuit. When placing your hands together or your hands with someone else together, it completes an electrical circuit. This raises your frequency because your body's electrical circuit is now flowing freely. This is the real reason why people hold their hands together to pray. It stems from an ancient method of meditation to raise your energy and balance your hemispheres, because the whole body is an extension of the brain. Your brain's a computer controlling the body through electricity. Placing your hands together balances the yin and yang energy within the body, the left and right hemisphere of the brain. Why do you think we pray over food holding hands? By holding hands, we're increasing energy, then casting spells over the food to raise the frequency of the water inside of the food. Everything is vibrating. What you place inside of you will affect your energy levels and vibration. Never eat anything if you're in a bad state of mind or emotions. Every cell, every tree, every object you see has magnetic presence. Magnetism is the creator of the physical world. You must look after your magnetic field. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the food you eat, the water you drink, all contributes towards the health of your magnetic aura. When the field is damaged, you become sick. It is believed that the field shows illness before your physical body shows illness. Think positive, stay positive, feel positive, and eat electrical live food high in magnetism. Protect your energy at all costs. And use code WISDOM for 40% off my book. Your body is a temple. These Egyptian temples were not for worship. These temples were 3D schools, which communicated to the student through a sophisticated language of symbols, volumes, and proportions, revealing ancient wisdom. They started their journey in the entrance, which represents the heels, because the temples were built in the human form, because they understood that God is within man, implying that man embodies the universe. The same principles that govern man are also the same governing the universe. It was a school teaching mental and spiritual ascension, to go from matter to spirit, from heel hell to head heaven. That's why the entrance is at the heels, representing the physical plane, the physical self, the lower carnal mind. The body wants the physical pleasures. Then raising up through the symbolism in these rooms up to the head heaven, which is the spiritual place.
It is the spinal column that is the stairway to heaven. The Bible even talks about this, but you're just not reading it correctly. The word Yahweh means I am. Jesus in French is I am. Jesus in Latin is you are us. Be still and know that I am God. It's the I am within you is God. I am the light of the world. You project your own reality. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are a fractal of the consciousness of the universe, which is God. Satan represents your lower carnal mind that wants the fleshly desire. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly... If you're using AirPods, your brain is being attacked by electromagnetic radiation. Your hair is an antenna for the nervous system, which picks up frequencies and energy. Radiation from these Bluetooth devices are destroying your nervous system. It's also destroying the energy field around your body. Every cell in your body has an electromagnetic field. All of these cells come together and form the overall electromagnetic field. Radiation from these devices are causing inflammation in cells, which then causes your field to become weaker, which then causes your body to become ill. It is said that the strength of the field is directly correlated to the health of the body. Some studies show that illness shows up in this field before it manifests in the body. Therefore, illness may not be something that we catch. It's the result of us lowering our frequency to match the frequency of illness. That's why in this book there is a frequency for every single illness that exists. By listening to the frequency, we're healing our field, which will then heal our physical body. So to save your health and your energy field and your nervous system, use Wired as much as possible. If you want more in-depth content about personal things and how to progress in life, join the exclusive. Or join the other 22,000 people in my Telegram. Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child, you sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. A sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull, and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the governmentality. They control your mind. Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind. The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body. They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west, and south, the news. My God! Wow! Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U, to teach you that you owe them to become a slave. You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king, you are no longer a king if you are working. Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays. Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create three-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We still have telepathic powers which we call intuition. You get charged in a court because you're a battery and then go to a prison cell, which is a battery cell where it holds your energy. They are harvesting your energy in prison. If you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. I think you can work this one out yourself. Minds are expanding and people are progressing inside of the Ethereal University. Do not stay in the shadow of ignorance. Progress your life with knowledge, people. If you smoke tobacco, you're addicted to the spirit of tobacco. That spirit has control over your consciousness. Smoking is witchcraft. Every plant has a spirit, a consciousness. Burning the plant releases the essence, the spirit of that plant. Inhaling the smoke is inhaling the spirit of that plant, which is infusing that consciousness with yours and making you become high. I. Witchcraft is not evil, it can be used for good and bad. Smoking the devil's lettuce can be used for good and bad. You invoke the spirit of the plant. If you smoke lettuce with a bad mindset, you're invoking anxiety spirit. If you smoke with a positive, high vibrational mindset, you open your consciousness. You are the magician, you are the invoker of the spirit. Smoking plants with no self-control will invoke the spirit to control you. If you're going to smoke lettuce, use it to meditate and access deep meditation, or use it in ritual to reprogram your subconscious. Whatever you do, never smoke on a full moon, and stop using it to escape reality. Use it to open up your consciousness or to reflect on your life and access deep thought. Doing it every day will just make you lazy and you'll get nowhere in life. The link is in my bio for the free Telegram for free content. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. The woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone, and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light in the images produced at the back of the brain called the visual cortex. This is because the universe is a mental projection, and it's the number one law in the Kabbalion that all is mind, the universe is mental. You never actually feel the external world. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of electrical signals on your nervous system. You touch, taste, smell, hear, and see with your brain. You're not in the world. The world is being simulated from the brain and the body. It's a piece of technology. Your body is the earth. The sun is your soul. The moon represents your mind. Your body is an advanced VR headset which produces a simulation. You are the universal mind, the observer behind your thoughts, emotions, and senses. There is only one of us in the universe, and that is God. The one consciousness is what gives life to every single living life form. There is only one consciousness, there is only one God, and there is only one number, which is the number 1, which is the letter I. The I am within you is the universal consciousness, which is God. Government, they govern your ment, your mind. Your environment is a product of your mind, and the elements exist in your mind, and they advertise to your ment, your mind. There is not one thing you can't think of. Every possibility exists in the mind. The mind is an infinite metaphysical consciousness. Your brain is a supercomputer. They're not the same thing. The Book of Wisdom explains everything. The planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights in the firmament. They give you the 7 chakras, the 7 days of the week, the 7 days of creation, and the 7 metals. Gold is a physical crystallization of the sun. That's why banks are backed by gold, because the sun is the soul of the solar system. It gives life to all things. Silver is a physical manifestation of the moon's energy. Mercury gives you mercury, Saturn gives you lead. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns back into light. Everything's made out of light. That's why the ancients were decked out in jewelry. By wearing the metal, you can harness the energy of each planet. The planets are different aspects of consciousness. They are energies, emotional states, and levels of awareness that manifest all conditions in the external and internal world. These are the Elohim. Read this book if you want to know more. My YouTube might help you understand this. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12. Jesus went into the temple of God. Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are the temple of God? Jesus entered within himself to go to God, which is why he tells you to meditate in Luke 6:6. When thou prayest, enter in thine inner chamber, and having shut thy door, the inner chamber, the inner self. Shutting the door is taking no thought, which is exactly what Jesus says, therefore take no thought, in Matthew 6:34. He says this 5 times because you have 5 senses. You must turn off the 5 senses and take no thought. When you turn off activity, thought and emotion, you connect with pure consciousness, which allows you to meet the Lord in the air, Theologians 4:17. Earth is the body, water is emotion, fire is spirit, air is the mind. Raise yourself up to the air, enter in the mind. All your life you've been thinking. When you stop thinking, you open up other aspects of your consciousness. The church does not want you to know this, to keep your soul trapped in the physical plane. You need to go from hell to heaven, heel to head, matter to spirit. Join the university if you want to become enlightened. We have a library, manifestation course, Q&As and lectures every week. While millions of people struggle to pay their bills, there are free ways of generating electricity. Take a look at this rare electricity generating stone that was found in Africa. Why is it the ancient gods all carry this bag alongside with a pine cone? Even the Pope carries a pine cone. Vatican has the pine cone with the dome. Bags are the carrier of things and they can be passed on, and it's always carried in their left hand. In the Kabbalah, the right represents wisdom, the left represents knowledge. This represents the carrier of secret knowledge of how to activate the pine cone. The left is the knowledge, the right is the applied knowledge, wisdom. Pine cones can be open or they can be closed. Pine is pin, which is the pineal gland, a spiritual gland in the brain which acts as an antenna for our consciousness. You have a physical body and a spiritual body, but most humans are stuck in their physical form. This bag is the secret knowledge of how to activate our spiritual body by activating our pineal gland, going from asleep to awakened, from darkness to the light, from hell to heaven. Pineal gland is not the third eye. Pineal gland is an antenna, a receiver of consciousness. The mind is the third eye. I have a free guide of activating the inner eye on my website. This guide contains teachings from my university. I'm looking for serious students who are interested in occult and esoteric teachings to join my community. Israel is not the Holy Land. The Holy Land is within you. Isis, Ra, and El. Isis, the feminine right brain. Ra, the masculine left brain. El comes from Elohim, which means God. When the 2 hemispheres of your brain come together and work as one electrical system, you're left with pure consciousness, which can lead to out-of-body experiences. Even the Bible tells you to astral project, rather be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Corinthians 5:8. The Bible says, I know a man in Christ who was caught up in the 3rd heaven. Physical, etheric, astral. This is astral projection. Whether in the body or out of the body, I do not know. Corinthians 12:2. This is why the Sumerian gods had 2 faces, and the 33rd degree symbol has 2 eagle faces, because it symbolizes having mastery over the physical and the astral body. You can quite literally live while people sleep. Leaving your physical body puts you in the 4th dimension, the astral plane, which is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to imagine a red apple. As a child, you could imagine very vividly because you came from the 4th dimension. As you grew older, you lost this ability to imagine. Your consciousness is pure light, and through the intent and focus of your mind, you can focus this light into a form, which is what we call imagination, the 4th dimension. That's why I put together a free guide which gives you practical methods to enhance your inner vision. Anyone can get this, it's for free, and it's basically a teaching from Ethereal University. Porn is free because you pay with your soul. Google is free because you pay with your data. When something is free, you are the product. They have 2 O's because they're watching your data. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. Every text you take, every person you call, every search that you type in is being recorded in a database. Therefore, your phone is tracking the collective minds of the masses. All of our behavior is being fed into an artificial consciousness, AI. You created AI by feeding your mind into these tracking devices. AI will control everything and make you a slave. Don't let your phone be a prison for your mind. That's why it's called a cell phone. Instead, spread the word to the world by reposting these videos that I make and earn an income from your phone. Many of my affiliates have quit their job, earning freedom, making an income from their phone. It's not about the money, it doesn't exist. It's the freedom you can gain from it and live the life that you truly want to live. Click sign up, fill in the form, download my videos, and repost the videos. I made this program for you so you can gain freedom and so we can spread an amazing message to the world. The link is in my bio to sign up. Sugar in your teeth is called a cavity. Sugar in a baby's brain is called ADHD. Sugar in an adult's brain is called dementia. Sugar in your skin is called acne. Sugar in your body is called cancer. Sugar in your blood is called diabetes. Sugar in your eyes is called glaucoma. Seed oils in your skin is called sunburn. Smelly breath is rotting food in your gut. Sugar and alcohol kills good gut bacteria. Music is me and you sick because frequency is the only few forces that can penetrate your consciousness and body without your consent. Alcohol means body eating spirit, alcohol. That's why a jinn is called a jinn, a spirit. Alcohol is a magic potion that contains spirit. Every time you cut yourself, your body heals with a scab. Your body's a self-healing technological machine. Just like how your body makes a scab, your body knows how to heal anything wrong with it. You just have to give the body the right environment for it to heal. Remove meat, dairy and all unnatural foods and consume alkaline foods. Start to fast. After 2 days of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate the body. If you have any of these problems, then you need to detox. Your body is the most advanced piece of technology on the face of the earth. There is not one thing that can replicate the complexity of your body, so look after it. They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you, and I'm going to explain it in a minute. Firstly, you need to understand the brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Everything they teach you is external to keep you looking outside yourself, but it's all internal. You are God in human form. The problem with the world is that we lack understanding of who we are, and what we are doing in this physical reality. Religion is just a way to externalize the God inside of you into someone else that you can worship to give away your power. Jesus and Satan are aspects of your consciousness, the higher mind and the lower mind. They just made a character out of it. The truth is always hidden in plain sight. Who remembers playing hopscotch as a child? You're probably wondering what this tree represents. It's the descent of manifestation. All creation begins as an emanation from the mind, thought. From subtle, thought unfolds into spirit and then descends into matter. You are not the body, you are the divine mind. Your whole life you've been bringing thought into physical reality, Malkuth. You come from heaven, which is the higher realms of consciousness, and you descended into physical reality. Luke 10:18, I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning. Here's heaven, here's the flash of lightning. It's the manifestation of mind into matter. You represent Satan, a fallen state of consciousness, because matter is the lowest state of consciousness. 10 spheres, 22 different pathways, and 1 death, which adds up to 33. Jesus is the body, the Christ is the divine mind within you, and you manifested through the 33 segments of this tree into Malkuth. You died on the cross, which is your body, and got the 5 wounds, the 5 senses of the physical universe, Malkuth. You came from spirit to matter. Now you got to go from matter to spirit through spiritual awakening, mental transmutation, and love. Christians knew about it, and it's even on your hands. Hopscotch is a game which represents the path back to source, back to God. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly ready, people.